Back on Sports Pit, Paulie and Teddy. Deep dive NBA. Do that in a second. The doubleheader tonight on ESPN. First, a vicious beat, Teddy. Go back to the NBA last night. The Jazz led 102-99 with less than 4 minutes in Portland. What happened?
A 14-2 run for Portland to close out the game at the Rose Garden. They've had a fair few of those in recent years. The Blazers looked like they were going to lose straight up. Ended up not only winning, but covering the spread. And that was a game in which Portland took a bunch of money, too, because Favors was out for Utah along with Gordon Hayward. And boy, they missed arguably their two best offensive threats down the stretch on opening night.
All right, game one of a doubleheader on ESPN. The Thunder on the road to take on the Sixers. OKC 8.5. 208 the total. Westbrook may open from the gate well. Chance to put up big numbers, take a run at that MVP. And now it's his team with Durant going to Golden State. And it might be a difficult team for the markets to project tempo because they're starting Sabonis, the kid from Gonzaga, and Adams up front. They were one of the best rebounding teams in the league last year. They might even be better now. Scary.
Well, yeah, I mean, the markets are going to have a very interesting time pricing Oklahoma City when it comes to totals in early season play. Because Sabonis and Adams, those two guys are starting. That's a slow-tempo half-court team when you project it. Even though Sabonis ran reasonably well in the WCC last year, he's not someone at an NBA level that I project to be a run-and-gun kind of guy. So we think of Westbrook and OKC as this up-tempo team, but they've got two big men that are stodgy and might well slow them down. And you talked about last year how good at rebounding. They were one of the best teams in rebounding history last year. In the history of the NBA, they might even be better this year. They're going to be bigger, I'll tell you that much. And that means they're likely to corral an even higher percentage of the board.
So Brett Brown's going to be wondering, when can I actually coach my entire roster? Because they open up with Noel, Bayless, and Ben Simmons is hurt. This is year 4 of the project here when they tanked for 3 years. None of these guys can stay healthy. They get the horrible news with Ben Simmons before the season.
Yeah, well, the upside for Brett Brown is that in terms of when he's actually going to get to coach his whole roster, probably never. I don't think he's going to last long enough to coach it. They're already writing his epitaph in the Philadelphia newspapers. And it's certainly been, well, most of Brown's issues have been injuries, which he can't control, and management decisions, which he can't control. This is a roster with some upside. I mean, all of these high draft choices that they've taken, and I know most of them haven't panned out thus far. When you think about, guys like MCW, who was a rookie of the year, and then the next year they're in, no, he's not good, and now he's barely, hanging on in the NBA. We think about Joel Embiid, who hasn't been a factor. Noel hasn't been a factor. It wasn't like Okafor was a monster last year. They've gotten all these picks. They haven't gotten a ton out of them yet. There's upside on this roster, but whether we see it on opening night, I wouldn't count on it.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to SBRpicks.com.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.